we've covered that. We're going to start with our first segment. Our first segment of the day we're going to cover is national news. Our first segment is national news. Ooh, it's a lot. All right, guys. So this Friday is one of those rare Fridays. Blame it on my birthday. My birthday was yesterday, so blame it on my birthday. But I got caught slipping. I left. All right, appreciate that. All right, I brought my stuff and forgot my jump drive with a lot of my programming for today. So forgive me for not having it. I will be better prepared next Friday, so don't worry. I'm gonna make sure I'm on point. But we're gonna discuss some of the topics. So I don't have some of the audio, but we're gonna go over them, and hopefully you guys will be able to follow. First, we're going to start with the big news of the week, the national news. For those who already know by now and those who may not care, but you need to know, the Lakers won the NBA Finals. All right. No coronavirus cases was reported in Lakerland, but they was able to win. And for some people, they were really excited, but the NBA had to shut down the season March 11th, and we see that it came back strong as the teams played and continued, and the Lakers actually were the ones that came out the victor. They beat the Miami Heat. The score was 106-93 in Sunday Game 6, taking the league championship. You're going to find that a lot of the people were really excited about the Lakers win because of LeBron James winning yet another ring. And there was a lot of discussion all week about the GOAT. Shannon came in, if you watch ESPN with the GOAT, he had the jersey and he was bragging about how great LeBron is. But there are still some that say, hey, look, until he gets 6 like Jordan, we can't say he's the GOAT. But at any rate, that was one of the big stories that was going on this week. We know that LeBron James and the Lakers worked really hard this season, and we want to congratulate them on their win and on their victory. Other sports news, the Atlanta Falcons. This one is a little personal, being that we're stationed out of Atlanta. Kind of hurts a little bit. But Atlanta has been having a very, very rough season this year. Rough is an understatement. Our season's been horrible, y'all. I'm going to be honest. Yes, it has been horrible. I'm talking about, man, I don't think I've been disappointed in a long time. I can think of a Super Bowl that comes to mind, but I don't even want to discuss that because that's going to take it to another level. But I will say this, Dan Quinn and the general manager Thomas Dimitroff was fired after Atlanta's 0-5 start. They went ahead and got rid of him. And a lot of people said that it was time. A lot of people were like, hey, Authur Blank, what's going on? And for those who don't know, Authur Blank is not known to fire people as far as his coaching staff. They say he didn't fire people halfway through the season. He waits till the season ends. But this start was so bad that even Authur Blank had to go ahead and pull the trigger. It says Atlanta Falcons coach Dan Quinn and general manager Thomas Dimitroff, who saw their team start a 0-5 for the first time since 1997 after a Sunday loss to the Carolina Panthers, has been fired. Team president Rich McKay will also assume day-to-day oversight of the football operations in the interim, according to a statement Sunday from the Falcons. And an interim head coach is expected, was going to be announced actually Monday, and they did do that. Defensive coordinator Raheem Morris and offensive coordinator Dirk Carter, both former head coaches of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are candidates for the interim job, along with assistant head coach and linebacker coach Jeff Ulbrich. Ulbrich was slated to assume head coaching responsibilities if Quinn contracted the COVID-19 during the ongoing pandemic. So just to give you a quote, it says, decisions like these are very difficult, but the previous 2 seasons and the start of this one has been especially hard for me because of the deep love, admiration, and respect I have for my family and my family have for Dan, Thomas, and their families, Falcon owner Authur Blank said in a statement. For many years, they have represented me and our team, organization in Atlanta with class, commitment, and all the passion you would want in the leaders of a team. But as everyone knows, this is a result of business I owe to our fans to put the best product we can on the field. We have poured every resource possible into winning and will continue to do so, but the results of late do not meet our standards, which I have promised to our fans. Therefore, we will install new coaching, personnel, leadership of the Atlanta Falcons at the appropriate time. So Quinn went ahead and let it be, the Authur Blank let it be known he had to fire Quinn. This was expected, guys, to be honest. And some people are calling for Matt Ryan too. They want Matt Ryan to go too, but we might want to hold on to Matt Ryan a little bit. I think he got another year left on that contract, and that's a lot of money. It's going to be hard. But at any rate, I see Frank ready to tell me what's really going on. But I wanted to let you guys know what was going on from the sports world. Some major things. You know, the Braves are doing well. So Atlanta, we still got the Braves. All right. And hopefully, you know, Atlanta United and our other teams can win us some championships, because this season isn't going very well for our Falcons. All right, also in news, I was going to cover, there were a couple of situations going on with rallies. We had a rally with Trump. We had a rally with Biden. So President Trump and Joe Biden both did rallies instead of doing the scheduled debate. And a lot of people were disappointed because we were expecting to see them on the same platform, you know, discussing the issues and really getting to the root of the matter. But it seems that, I guess Trump backed out first after the COVID thing. And again, I don't have my audio, but we're just going to go from here and just kind of let you guys know our perspective on it. Both did a rally on yesterday. And to my understanding, they both hovered around 9 million viewerships, but Biden's was slightly higher. I think his was like 9 point something over Trump's 9 million. So it seems that both of them were able to pull their base, but Biden had a little bit more people watching him on the discussion. I tried, y'all. I tried. That's why I went and pulled the audio, because I had to be really honest here and talk with you guys. You know me as the independent voice here at Preeminent Radio, and when I say independent, I mean approaching these kind of things objectively. And there's some things that I've observed both through social media, through personal interaction, and during this whole fight for the White House. And I want to share some things with you guys tonight, if y'all will let me. That's all right. All right. We seem to have a situation in our culture, in America, where we've lost the ability to have a conversation. We've lost the ability to sit down at the table with people who may not view things the same way we view them, who may not think of things the same way we think of things, and just engage in a respectful dialogue to talk about why the person believes what they believe, and then you giving a hearty reason why they should persuade them to follow what you believe, and you share your side of the story. But unfortunately, we're living in a time right now where a lot of people are not giving that kind of voice. They're not giving that kind of ear to each other. What do you mean, Micah? Well, let me explain a little further. I think part of it is because of our social media interactions. When you have a Facebook, an Instagram, a MySpace, a Twitter, it's easy for you to get fed up with somebody and just hit block, delete, unfriend. I'm not going to hear them anymore. I'm going to hide their posts for the next few months because I really don't want to hear them. And it seems like we live in a culture right now where it's very quick to just shut you out if they don't like what you're saying. Yeah, this is a problem. We need to get back to communicating. We need to get back to sitting there across the aisle from somebody who may think different from you and actually engaging in meaningful dialogue in hopes to win them to your argument. But even if you can't, at least you gave it the old college try. What am I talking about? I'm talking about it's time for us to cancel the cancel culture. It's time for us to cancel the cancel culture. We can't do like the kids used to do at the playground. I'm going to tell you all a good example. Back in the day when you would play, you have somebody playing baseball and one of the kids would say, I'm going to be the umpire. And you might swing and the umpire says strike and you felt like it was good. And because you didn't like the call, you say, you know what? That's my bat. That's my ball. I'm going to go home. The end of the game for everybody. And now everybody's sitting there looking sad because you're going to take your bat and ball and go home and run and cry because you couldn't deal with the fact that somebody didn't see the call the same way you did. And that's where we're at in our society, guys. It's enough mudslinging. There was a time where America was the land of the free, where freedom of speech really meant something, that you can say what you wanted to say as long as you didn't cause harm to others, but you could say what you wanted to say, how you feel, without worrying about repercussions. That was the whole purpose of them wanting to get over here, was to try to express yourself freely. But unfortunately, we've lost that because society now is saying, you don't think like I think, I don't like you. And our politicians, it's ironic they use the colors red and blue because that's how they operate. They're like suited up gangbangers. Like if you're not with the red, you ain't with the blue, you can't roll with me. What is going on, America? Y'all got to talk to me right now. It's time for these politicians to come together. You got people waiting on a stimulus who may be struggling. People that are facing eviction and we still can't get it together. Yeah, we need to discuss these things. We need to cancel the cancel culture, guys. Feel free to speak to somebody who doesn't think like you. Another story that broke news this week, case in point, while I'm on my rant. Ice Cube. Oh yeah, Ice Cube, Ice Cube, Ice Cube. The music came in like you're in trouble. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all something. For those who don't know, I come from a background of hip hop years ago. Before I ever became a minister or anything, I was like a hip hop historian. So I'm familiar with the Ice Cube, like the NWA Ice Cube, like the Forget the Police Ice Cube. Long before he did America's Most Wanted, the blah 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 you love to hate Ice Cube, the I Get Wicked, Death Certificate Ice Cube. I know Ice Cube. I just find it odd, ironic, that the people were so quick to throw him away because he was willing to sit down at the table. I don't get that. I don't, y'all. I mean, if it was a situation where Cube was like, yo, I went up there and I worked out a deal for me and it went great, I could see it being an issue. But the fact that the man still said he had problems with what's going on in our current society, he just wanted to sit down with somebody. And what was really troubling was Ice Cube said, hey, look, I went to the Democrat Party first and asked for a seat at the table, and they said, wait till after the election. So I was like, word, okay. So then he went to the Republican side, and they said, oh, come on, sit down, let's have a talk. So rather than us be mad at Ice Cube, we really need to be mad at the party who neglected to talk to the man, if that's really what happened, according to Ice Cube now. We need to be mad at the ones who wouldn't sit at the table with him from the beginning, instead of taking it out on him, just because we don't agree with who he met with. And let me tell you what this is like for those who don't understand. If you went to a company, let's say you work for a company, and you asked your supervisor for something, and your supervisor played you to the left and said, hey bro, you know what, I'm about to take my vacation. When I get back from vacation, we'll deal with your issue. So you decide, you know what, the supervisor didn't help me. I'm gonna go to the ops manager, because the ops manager override the supervisor. He's the one in charge anyway. You would go to him. How would you feel if everybody gets mad and the manager looks at you sideways? Yo, why you go to the ops manager? Why you didn't stick with me? I went to him because you didn't want to have the discussion. You didn't help me. So I had to go to the one who was willing. Not that I'm for either right now. I'm just making a valid point. We got to think of things objectively. We got to look at the end game. And if this man is the one right now who has the pen that could actually make a change, nobody got mad at Kim Kardashian when she ran up in his face trying to get brothers out of prison. They didn't drag her over the coals to get mad at her. She got a pass for whatever reason. But the moment that Cube decides that he wants to go speak, now everybody up in arms. I'm sorry, guys. And he even said that, look, I'm not endorsing him. I'm not saying vote for the guy. He said, I don't trust either of them, the video I saw. Now, he may have changed his position, but the video I saw, Cube said, I don't trust nobody. I just want to know what's best for my people right now. And you can't get mad. Anybody who's ever been in a combat zone of war knows that it's better to try to negotiate first before having to take up arms. So I'm hoping you guys will be able to think objectively about this cancel culture thing. It's time for us to change our mindset on how we deal with each other. If the person says something you don't like, guess what? You can say your point and keep it moving. You ain't gotta sit there and block and hate and try to get them fired. Now, if they did something wrong to call somebody to death, by all means, definitely cancel away. But if they didn't do anything particular that can cause somebody harm or death, they just have a different opinion than you, that is not a reason to try to take away someone's livelihood. And we gotta get over this. We gotta grow up. We gotta mature. This is Micah Dobbins, the Micah Dobbins Show. The last point I want to bring out before we cue in the music, voter turnout. I heard there were long lines. Y'all get out there and take that time to vote. Take a snack, take a chair. Explain to your children while you're there that it is very important for you to vote. If you don't vote, you're not using your voice. But remember, it is a right. It's not something they have to do. So if you have those that don't want to vote, don't cancel them, y'all. Don't cancel them. This is the Micah Dobbins Show. This was our national news segment of the day.